Hi, and welcome to my Spring 2018 Capstone Presentation. During this video, I will be talking about some of my goals that I put on my IDP at the beginning of last year and how I succeeded to complete those goals. I will be talking about the MDS outcomes and kind of what helped me complete those and meet those expectations. And then lastly, I will be talking about my service learning experience and what I valued and took from that. Enjoy. So I chose to focus on three of the outcomes in this presentation: problem solving, effective speaking, and effective team innovation. I found that the problem solving outcome was one of the main ones that I met during this class, just because during my service learning experience, I felt that at the beginning I kind of had to use the problem solving skill a lot more than I had before. Um, I also feel that the team innovation outcome really was met in all of my courses actually throughout the MDS program, specifically my business courses and my MDS classes, of course. Within those classes, we had a large team term paper that I needed to do for all of my business classes throughout each term that I did it. So, yeah. So for the problem solving outcome, I use that mostly through my capstone project, was where I really felt like I utilized the problem solving skill and I actually achieved the outcome. So you can see here that I put a screenshot of my portfolio, which is online, and I wrote a little excerpt on why I felt that my capstone project met the goals and requirements of the problem solving outcome, as well as what the problem was that I needed to solve. Specifically with the book drive, which is you will learn about later in my presentation, it was basically what I did for my service learning. Finding a school in the very beginning really utilized some problem solving skills because I needed to kind of go out of my comfort zone and take roundabout ways to get responses back, because not everybody replies when you want them to. The next outcome that I felt I met the most was effective speaking. First off, this currently fills that need and that outcome. But I felt that during my team projects, I also utilized the skill of effective speaking. This could have been through communication, contact with the team members, or even just speaking to them in a calm, continuous manner so we could get the project done. Lastly, of the outcomes that I'm going to talk about on this presentation, the effective team innovation outcome. Like I said earlier, all of my projects really utilized this outcome throughout this program, which I think is extremely important. It really helped me to communicate well, innovate with team members, come up with ideas, be creative, produce great projects. I really, really enjoyed working towards this outcome. And I also included a screenshot of my e-portfolio. So with the IDP goals, my personal goal that I wrote about a year ago was that after I graduated from Boise State in May 2018, which I am doing, I want to have grown personally and academically by working hard and starting a successful career, as well as attend graduate school in counseling at Boise State. So the MDS program really set me up well to complete this goal. I stayed online with or stayed on track with my classes, and I will be graduating in about a week now from Boise State. I also did really grow in my personal life and academically, which I feel like was extremely important for me to accomplish in this goal, just because growing within yourself and like understanding that you have grown is a really big accomplishment to be done. And then lastly, I have changed my thoughts about graduate school. I don't believe that that will be what I am doing after this. But because of the MDS program, I was able to take a lot of business courses, and I have kind of thought about opening up a home daycare in the Treasure Valley. So that is definitely still in the works, and a lot of the kinks still need to be sorted out. But I am thinking about doing that, and that is thanks to this program. So, continuing on with the goals, my main learning goal that I'm going to focus on, you can see in the bottom that there were 3 goals that I put, but the main one that I wanted to focus on today was I hope to graduate with the skill of decision making, specifically in my academic life. This skill will help me be successful because I will be able to use it to make the decision of what career path I want to take after graduating from Boise State. Both of my MDS classes will help me master this skill. So I feel like decision making is a skill that I have always lacked. I always have wanted other people to make tough decisions for me. So in my school life, this was really important for me to work towards in this last year of school at Boise State, which I have not mastered it, that's for sure. But I definitely have consciously thought about decisions when I need to make them, and as well as I have worked hard in these classes this last year, and I feel like that has really set me up for success. So the service learning goal that I put on my IDP, I did not put a screenshot of that on here, but basically it stated that between now and spring 2018, so I did write this goal a year ago, I will find a list of local nonprofits that are available to me to volunteer at, and I hope to find one that interests me and that may have to do with counseling. So at the time, I was really interested in doing counseling. As you can see, that's not the path that I'm deciding to take right now in my life. But I was able to complete that goal by finding a list of nonprofits and finding something that interested me. Through that, I was lucky enough to find Book It Forward Idaho, which is a local nonprofit started a couple years ago. And basically, what they do is throughout the Treasure Valley, they've partnered with companies and they collect books from, like, so they'll do like the used library sale, whatever doesn't get sold there, they'll get from them, or book drives that are done. Any people can donate directly to Book It Forward. And then they, in their little warehouse, a couple little ladies, they literally sit and clean these books, and then they get them delivered to children across the Treasure Valley, that don't have books or don't own books. So I thought that was really interesting. So although this wasn't within the counseling field, I really felt that this was what I was intended to do for my service learning, and it really helped me create a great project through them, and so it was really, really, really impactful. So in my service learning experience, I really thought at first I would do a hands-on experience, just get my hours done, obviously be helping out. I was planning on just cleaning and delivering books when needed. Instead, we talked about it and decided that for me to run a book drive would be the best way to get a hands-on experience and learn the ins and outs of the book nonprofit business. So here's how I did it. Basically, the first step was that I needed to make a list of all non-Title I schools in the Treasure Valley because I didn't want to get books from Title I schools since my goal was to give books to kids at Title I schools. Step 2 was to contact each and every school in the Treasure Valley in hopes that one would want to do a book drive. So waiting for a response was difficult. This was where my problem solving came in because so many responses from schools proved that there was a need for book drives, but they either already had one that they had decided to do for the semester, or they just at the time were not in a place to do it. Finally, I was able to hear from Liberty Elementary, and they were open. They emailed me with open arms, ready to tackle a book drive. Next, we set dates, and I picked up the donation bids from Book It Forward. We decided on April 9th through 13th, since the following week would be the United Way Book Drive, which is where I would donate all of the books to. I then created posters and this flyer that you'll see in the top right-hand corner that was sent out to parents, students, teachers, basically everybody. Then, the week of April 9th through 13th, I waited and went to pick up the books. So my initial goal was 100 books, and I was lucky enough to receive almost 700. So this was a huge shock to me. I was extremely happy. I felt like I had successfully planned this drive, and I was extremely happy from it. Basically, after that, I took these books to the United Way Book Drive where I counted, sorted, and cleaned the books, and then you can see I packaged them up into boxes where they would be sent off to different places where the need is around the Treasure Valley. So basically, my takeaway from this experience was my service learning was honestly one of my favorite things in this program because it really got a hands-on experience not only in the community, but I really got to see what the needs are, and it was really, really great. There is such a lack of books in children's homes, and reading and literacy is extremely important. With any kid, but young kids in general, they really need the hands-on books. I also learned in my time in the MDS program, I learned about running a business through my business classes that I would never have taken if it weren't for this awesome program. And lastly, I still got to enjoy my time at my last year at BSU while still getting to work full-time and provide for my family. Overall, I am so, so grateful for this program, and I would not have been able to do it without the help of every teacher and classmate that I worked with, a team member that I worked with in every single class. It was really, really exciting. And you see, I am ready to graduate. Yay! So thank you so much. This was an awesome experience, and I would not have traded it in for anything. Thanks for listening.